All right, we send peace, love, and blessings to everybody that's joining us on this amazing segment today with Live Healthy Miami Gardens. And so we pray that as you're coming on with your spirits open. We have a very healthy conversation. I am Dr. Cheryl Coleman, the president and CEO of Abundant Living Health and Wellness. And I have the privilege of hosting this today's segment. And so not only am I the president of Abundant Living, but I also have the privilege of sitting on the host council of the city of Miami Gardens, our Live Healthy City of Miami Gardens initiatives, which are amazing initiatives that are set forth so that we can make sure that our residents who live, work, and play in Miami Gardens are healthy. And so we thank God for all that's being done by way of Live Healthy Miami Gardens. And because Live Healthy Miami Gardens recognizes the importance of holistic health, we know that we're in the season where we should be celebrating the Christmas season. The holiday seasons are upon us. But we know that everybody's not in a space where they're feeling happy and jubilant. And so on today, we have healthy conversation on today with some healthy tips specifically targeting the holiday blues. And so I'm grateful that I am not here alone. I have someone that is here with me on today and going to share some important information with us around the holiday blues. And so without further ado, we thank God for our guest on today. Our guest today is none other than Nadej Bilsaint, who is the president and CEO of Prosperity Social and Community Development Group Incorporated. And so let's welcome our special guest and receive her now.
Hey, how are you going?
Awesome, awesome.
Good, good. I look forward to being here.
We're glad to absolutely have you. Before we dive into our conversation, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization?
Absolutely. My name is Nadej Singh. I am the executive director of Prosperity Social Community Development Group. We are a nonprofit organization over 11 years serving the city of North Miami, Miami Beach, and Miami Gardens. We provide services to youth and development programs in the different schools in Miami Gardens. We have an after school program located in North Miami. We really focus a lot with mental health services in the North Garden Senior High School, Norland, Carroll City. We work together with the community of Miami Gardens, and we look forward to continuing providing mental health services in the school system that we've been funded for years now, over 4 years, providing services in the community. So it's an honor to be here today.
Awesome, totally awesome. It sounds like you're doing some amazing work, and we are grateful. I am grateful because I also recognize as a social worker how important it is for the work that you do in the community. I've had the privilege of working with social workers in the hospital dimension and also here in our faith communities. And so we are grateful for our social workers. And with that said, we want to hear your expertise, yes, around this topic on today. Because if we're not well in our social realm, then we know we're going to have fallouts in all other dimensions of health. And so, if you will, talk to us a little bit about what the holiday blues, what it is. What is holiday blues?
Yes, the holiday blues happens to everyone. I want to tell you that. It happens to young kids, adults, and everybody. How do we identify the holiday blues? Again, if you're feeling a little bit lonely because maybe your loved ones are unable to travel to come and be with you for the holidays. Maybe you lost a loved one during COVID. Maybe you recently got divorced. It's really a lot of situational things that happens in your life, changes, transitions that happens in your life. And what do you do with it? Do you stay there and wonder about what if, or do you think about what other ways that you can change your mindset and make new plans or build new friends and participate more in your church activities, or make new friends by going out to a concert, or doing things that's fun to that way will help you to redirect your mind and not allowing yourself to become so depressed. Remind you, it's a mood depression. It's a depression that leads towards your mood. It changes your mood. And sometimes you find yourself high and you find yourself low. So what do we do about it? Change our mindset.
Yeah, mind is powerful. So as a man or a woman thinketh, so is he or she for that matter. And so thank you for kind of just talking to us a little bit about what holiday blues is. Let me ask you something. When we think about the holiday blues, and you talked about it being a mood, what about those who already suffer? Is there a difference between depression and the holiday blues?
Yes, it is the big difference between depression and the holiday blues, because the someone that suffers with depression, this is something that happens to them all the time. This is like a daily routine. The Monday they're okay, Tuesday they're down, and Wednesday, Thursday they're up. Someone that is dealing with the holiday blues find themselves feeling lonely because maybe it's Christmas and no one's giving you a gift, or no one invited you to a nice Christmas party at their home, or you have no plans for that day. That is a difference with holiday blues, you know. But when you have someone that suffers with depression and they don't identify that it is depression, because we don't know sometimes with depression, we don't even know sometimes if we're depressed or not in life. You know, a situation happens and we're just upset about it with stress, and we automatically give it power over our life. We don't know that has cost us a depression situation. So depression is totally different from holiday blues. Based on how your moods act towards a situation will identify if you're dealing with the holiday blues or if you're just dealing with a depression situation.
That's real good. That's real good. When we can really identify where we are and what we're feeling, it helps us to be able to embrace and maneuver through it. And so, what I hear you saying is the holidays blues is a little bit different because it's like a temporary mood
Yes.
that's based on the situation we're in,
Yes.
versus the depression, which is longer state. And those who are suffering from depression or any kind of mental illness or
Mm-hmm.
emotional illness, they're prone to having a heightened, I guess.
A manic episode. People that are dealing with depression a lot of times find themselves in a manic episode. Sometimes they're very, very high. They're happy. The day is a great day and they're doing good. And sometimes they're so low that they can't even get out the bed. They can't even eat. Nothing means nothing to them. They have no mood at all. And people like that can find themselves where they're so depressed where they think of suicide at that time. They want to take medication. They feel they're worthless. They feel they don't deserve to be here. That's someone that is definitely dealing with a depression and would need to find to see how they can seek medical services. Find someone, go to the doctor and talk about those moods that you're feeling. You know, now someone like myself, I wouldn't say I'm in the holiday blues, but I don't really have much plans for the holidays. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna make my own plans. I'm inviting friends over. We're gonna cook, we're gonna eat, and I'm gonna enjoy it. You know, that is totally different with someone that's totally depressed about just about every day, you know, in their life.
Yeah. And so, and it's good, again, it's good to distinguish the difference between the two of them. And so these temporary moods with the holiday blues is, yes, you're feeling tired, you can feel the stress, but you feel that loneliness more so around the holiday
Yes.
season, by
Yes.
yourself. And I heard some amazing tips that you are sharing with those who recognize this is where I am. It's not
Yes.
that I'm in this long depression, but I have stages in my life where things are different. And I heard you call out some things, whether it's divorce, whether
Yes.
it's the children leaving the house and you don't have a house full of people. And so for those who are dealing with the holiday blues just based on that temporary setting or changes that are occurring in their lives, can you slow it down and just talk a little bit more about those things that they could do to help to shift them so that this season, it's good to embrace your emotions and where you are, but once you embrace them, you don't want to stay there. So talk to us a little bit more about what we can do to maneuver this season.
Absolutely. The best thing you can do is not stay there. Definitely not stay there. What you can do is make go to a church activity. What I did is I decided I'm not a big cooker. So I decided I'm going to cook creative stuff. I'm going to bake cookies, and I'm going to invite a couple of friends over, and I'm going to do plans. Maybe there's a new movie coming out with Denzel Washington. I'm like, hey, who wants to go to the movies with me? I have a list of little things that I plan to do, because everybody in my family is traveling and no one is here. It's just going to be me. So I decided to call out friends and invite them myself, so that I can have fun and not find myself in a stage where I'm wondering, oh man, I have nobody here. No one wants to go out with me, and find myself in that stage. Not saying I'm there now, but I'm preparing myself when Christmas comes and Christmas Eve comes. And I'm even made a list of my own Christmas shopping. Things that I want to buy myself for Christmas. So I'm going to go shopping for me, and I call a friend and say, hey, I'm going to give you a gift card, just to find things and make activities for myself and to keep me going and keep us going. And if you find yourself in that stage, call a friend. Find out if the church is not having any activity at the church, and maybe you can volunteer. It's always good to volunteer. Camilla's house always, and I used to do that all the time. On Christmas Day, they have a big fest where they feed people, they give gifts out. You can volunteer at those things, And City of Miami Gardens usually always looking for volunteers when they have toys drive going around. Be a partner of that. Find things that giving back is always something that makes someone feels good to give back. And that will definitely switch the mood from holiday blues to being positive that you did something good for yourself and as well your community.
That is absolutely powerful. When you talk about the church activities and the volunteerism, even for myself, whenever I'm able to help somebody else, I get gratification, and it makes me forget sometimes all about that place and that space that I might be in or need to be pulled out of. And so volunteering is totally awesome. You mentioned the Camilla's House, the Miami Rescue. There are probably so many organizations, and so filling your time up with being a blessing to someone else during this season is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
You also mentioned about the church, and I work a lot in the faith community. Even as a nurse practitioner at the bedside, I would see two people that got the same diagnosis, whether it was cancer, whatever it was. It might be a dismal kind of a report from the doctor, but I would watch the way two people would take the same diagnosis and react differently. And so the spirit of a man helps us in these times of blueness, even just depression. And so doing those things that fill up your spirit, like you say, in the church community or whatever that is, if it's meditation for you, if it's reading a book, there may be some other things that fill up your spirit to help you to have a joy that nothing can take away, regardless of your situation and circumstances.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's powerful.
Absolutely. And this is the time where you find out things that you never had time to do, you do it. Let's say you never had to go, like, I don't have time to go walking. I've been saying forever, I need to exercise. We're going to be off a couple of days. This is a good time to go walking. Sign up for a gym, and yoga. I want to try yoga. I did it one time. I didn't like it. Maybe I'll try it again. So this is the time where you're trying to find yourself. Give yourself a time to find who you are. What do you really like? What is it that you want to do? How do you like this? Maybe you cook. Maybe you do this. Finding yourself at this moment of time will definitely take away the holiday blues, because you get to know things that you didn't know about yourself. And that's always fun.
Absolutely. Exploring who we are and embracing who we are is absolutely powerful. Now I'm going to talk to you about that yoga, right? And so one of the things that helped me or helped me to even embrace it in the nursing world, and I know you're a social worker, we have what we call range of motion exercises, right? Because that helps your body to stay healthy. So think about the yoga as range of motions. The more you move your body, you release what we call endorphins, and you release, your serotonin and your dopamine that helps your mood, right? Those are things that help you. So the physical activity is powerful. And I also read about sunlight. Sunlight was something that helps your mood as well. And so getting outside is another powerful thing that can help you with the holiday blues, right?
Yes, the beach water is also good. Going to the beach is also good. Just being around the water changes your mood completely too. So it's always good to do a picnic outside. And if it's not raining or anything, you have a nice picnic by the water and just completely change your mood. So all those things is all a lot of wonderful things that you can put in plans, set your schedules up and find out what you can do to change that, to redirect that holiday blues.
That is beautiful. I'm just a nurse to the core. As you started talking about the water, our body is made up with what, almost 70% of water. So of course the water attracts us and puts us in an amazing place. So that is awesome. Nadej, what about sleep when it comes to these holiday blues?
That's another sign that you can identify if you are feeling a lot of depression, if you're really, really depressed, is if you find yourself sleeping so long and you don't want to get up and you don't have no motivation to do anything, not to even cook yourself breakfast, not to do anything. That's where you find yourself going to a stage where you're getting to the holiday blues. So another thing, instead of I would set my timers, because we're gonna be off. No work, you're home. Set your time. Give your time a time. Well, 12 o'clock, I'm gonna get up. Maybe I'll try yoga, and maybe I'll go up and go visit a friend, or go drop off, go volunteer at Camilla's house to see the faces, the tears on the kids' face and people's faces that I'm giving back to the community and I'm helping out. Try to keep yourself away from being home alone so much and being more out, physically activities, the sun, go walking. Hollywood walk, Cocoa Walk is beautiful. Go walk down there and get some ice cream and do stuff like that. That will prevent you from finding yourself sleeping so much long hours that would completely get yourself in a mood where you find yourself being depressed. And you don't want that. You want to get up and start your day as early as possible with a lot of energy.
That's powerful, and I think when I even among what you were saying, the word isolation came up because sometimes when we get in those down moods, we isolate ourselves, and
Yeah.
that's not a good place or a good space for us to be in. And so connecting with others, and for those, we're still in the middle of this pandemic, and we know there's a rise in Omicron, and so we know that even though we need to have that fellowship with one another. Some ways that we can do that if we can't physically get with them. I don't know if there's any
Zoom.
tips you have with that.
We could Zoom. Zoom is the next big thing now. Zoom is the next big thing. Set your Zoom up and have conversation with Zoom. I had someone to help me completely decorate my home via Zoom. Oh no, put it this way, put it that way. I mean, Zoom is the next best thing that has incorporated in everyone's life now. Use it. You know, that's a good.
That's Yeah. Zoom in, FaceTime in, whatever technology that we have to help us to stay connected. Because as human beings, we do need, sometimes I hear people say, I don't need anybody else, when they've experienced or gone things in life, but we were not created to be alone. And so, of course, during this time and in this season, being able to stay connected, whether that is physically in a safe way, or the technology and those means that we have. And so that's great. I heard you talking to us about our time, spending time with supportive people that are in our lives. And so eating and drinking, how can that help us with these holiday blues?
Drinking change your mood. I mean, a good drink will change your mood. You know that. So if you out and you get a good drink, it would change your mood. You would want to dance. Music is a beautiful thing. So you want to go to a nice cafe, a nice lounge that's playing music, and you're drinking a nice drink. It'll change your mood completely. I guarantee you that. And the powerful thing you said earlier, which is really powerful, human connection is a big thing in our lives. And everybody knows the power of human connection. So having someone around you and connecting with someone, just conversation wise, it's very powerful. You'd be surprised how the energy changes when you are around someone that is totally positive and that's in a good mood. Your energy will completely change. So human connection is a very powerful thing that would definitely help out a lot with the holiday blues, you know. And if you're feeling that holiday blues, call us around. We'll come and hang out with you.
There you go. There you go. So we think about this is not only for those who experience it, but it's for those who may be in a better place in a space to recognize that everybody around them is not in the same place, and just to share some of their joy, and just to be cognizant or intentional, really probably about reaching out to somebody during this time and in this season, because we're in a season where it's not as, we got major factors coming against us besides the normal holiday blues that we would get. Again, so much sickness and grief that's around us.
Yes.
Many people have lost not just loved ones, but jobs. And so we find ourselves in a challenging space among these holidays. So, again, for us to be cognizant for those who may be in a different space, to share your love, share your joy intentionally with somebody else, that does good. And yes, those drinks are in moderation. The other part of me, in moderation and safely. And if you are finding yourself in a depressed state, we wouldn't tell you to be doing those alcoholic beverages.
Oh,
That will take you down even more.
yeah,
But just being safe and doing things in moderation.
yeah,
And really being intentional about self-care and also caring for others. So that's powerful, powerful. You're doing some great work, Nadej. You
yeah,
talked to us about exercise, and so that
yeah.
was great.
That's really good. Exercise, going walking is really, really good. Really, really good. And I do agree with you with the moderation of the drink, because if we're not careful, it could lead us to the wrong step. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for not only to change our mood and redirect our mindset, but to be in a good space. Because if we look back, there are so many people that would love to be where we are currently, alive, just
Yes,
alive, you
yes.
know. And if we find ourselves around this holidays and we're alive, I mean, that's just joy itself. You know, we don't have COVID, we're alive, and, make the best of it. So I do encourage everyone to enjoy the holidays safe, and be positive about what's going on you. Things can change any day. So if it's good, enjoy it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You talked about the to-do list, and keeping things pretty much simple, and writing those things and ticking them off. And so when I think about that, when I have my to-do list, you know what changes my mood? Like when I'm ticking stuff off. Okay, I did this already. Yeah, it's almost like a reward system, and it just shifts the balance of your hormones in your body to be able to tick stuff off and say, I did it. And so when you
Yes,
make that list, keeping it simple,
yes,
just purpose yourself to go ahead and start to do it, and you'll see how much it changes and also shifts your mood. And so that just rung something in my spirit when you shared that.
that's positive feedback. That's giving yourself what is called positive reinforcement. So you're giving yourself back, hey, I took the time to do the list. I actually got it done. I got one done at a time. So that's a positive reinforcement that comes back into you, that gives you that joy. So doing those things, anything you can visualize that you're doing, and you can actually be in and redirect yourself in it, it's going to give you positive reinforcement.
Totally, totally awesome. I absolutely love it. I pray that those that would connect, either that are with us or that will heal their life, that it will, make a difference for somebody in this holiday season, whether they are experiencing the holiday blues or whether they're in a good space to help somebody else who is experiencing the holiday blues. And so you shared about the list and things that we could do, whether that's cooking, entertaining, going to our parties, and yes, going shopping, but we got to be wise about our budget when we shop, right?
Yes. Yes. Give yourself a budget. I give myself a budget. Give yourself a budget, because you don't want to find yourself overdoing it. So do give yourself a budget, and be mindful about it. And what's the purpose of you buying it? Always have a reason. Do I need this right now, or I'm just getting it because I'm feeling a little bit depressed and I'm just shopping? Because some people, when they feel the holiday blues, they go and shop, and then they really didn't need everything they purchased. So ask yourself, do I really need this? Put a list down. Do I need this? Do I really need it? I could wait for this. just be mindful of what you're doing and why you're buying it if you need it.
I keep hearing mindfulness in everything that you're sharing, and so just being intentional and
Yeah,
bringing about the awareness, and then each one of us, God has made us fearfully, wonderfully made, and unique,
absolutely.
and so we experience things different, and we have different set of circumstances. But some of the things that we're discussing is unique to all of us. I
Yeah,
mean, we all need to have the human interaction. We all need to have the right amount of sleep, those 6 to 8 hours. And we're not talking about 12, 15, and 24 hours when we get out
no.
of bed. We're
Mm-mm.
talking about eating and drinking in a healthy way. We're talking about exercising
Yes,
our bodies, and then paying it forward through volunteerism.
yes,
Socializing with
yes.
others in our faith communities, and in our communities in which we live and play and we work in. We
Hmm.
talked about safe budgeting.
Yes.
Did we talk about dancing?
We said if we're out at a nice cafe or bar or party, dance. Go ahead and enjoy some music because it changes the mood too. Dancing changes your mood, so it's wonderful to dance. So we did
Can
talk
you tell?
about dancing.
That's one of my favorites. Can you tell? I just added that in. That's one of my favorites, dancing, dancing, dancing. So, yes, we have to do those things that will just shift us
Yes,
instead of, we recognize where we are. And if it's not in a good space, then we have the power to shift it through mindfulness. And I really hear that in all of the amazing things that you shared. So, would you like to share anything else? We have spent a few moments, and we, again, pray that it's going to bless and encourage somebody. And so, anything that you might want to close out with for us?
yes. I would just simply close out with: do not give anything the power over you. You take the power. You know, do not allow the holiday blues to have power over you. You take that power and you redirect that power, and you will be definitely be in a better mood enjoying the holidays if you take that power. That's what I would like to share with everyone.
Listen, that's powerful in itself. And I think I'm not going to add anything to that, but just receive that we've got the power, right?
Yes,
Over holiday blues. And so that's
yes,
what be our mantra. We have the power over holiday blues. Just taking those little tips that you shared with us and knowing that it can make a difference in this season for those who may suffer or actually are feeling the holiday blues versus those who actually have some mental instabilities in their life and they're prone to the holiday blues, exaggerating it. Wherever you find yourself in this space, our dear sister Nadesh has given us some amazing tips, and we're going to take that we have power over the holiday blues.
yes.
And that's what we want to declare as we're signing off with this session of the Live Healthy Miami Garden segment, where we're trying to empower and to encourage people who live, work in Miami Gardens with healthy lifestyles. Thank you all for tuning in.
Bye bye.